Hi guys, it's Katie here again from Creativa, and today I'm going to do another page in the Memoria Mini Album that I have been creating, and using these cutting files that I have designed and are available on my Etsy store if you're interested. So you can use your SVG cutting files in cutting machines like Cricut. I have a Cricut 2.0. Cricut Explore 2.0, and I can use these files in that. I think you can use them in other SVG type or other cutting machines. Like I think you could probably use them in the Brothers Scan and Cut and the Cameo, things like that. So I have been making an album, and at this stage I'm just doing the pages, and so I'm using my cutting files. And I'm using various bits and pieces of papers from Craft. So I got these little packs of design paper. This one's Always and Forever, and this one's Treasured Moments. But both packs only have 12 pages each in them, and I wasn't sure if that would be enough because you'd never want to run out. So I also had some papers left over from this paper pad, Floral Romance. So I've thrown in a few of those in here as well. And then just to round it off, I took some neutrals out of this pen and ink paper pack, just to make sure that I had enough because I was a little bit worried. So as you can see, I'm using all sorts of bits of paper, which honestly does make it a little bit difficult to try and match everything up, but you know, I think once you've put it all together and embellished it and put in all your tags and inserts and things like that, very often it looks like it's meant to all go together anyway. So, well, that's my plan. So, that's the paper design that I'm using. And for today, I'm hoping that we'll be able to do the front and back of a page. So for the first page, I'll show you the bits that I've already cut out using my Cricut and my SVG files. So to start with, today I'm going to use the rectangle base pages, which I have just here, one of each of those, and I've already cut them out and burnished around the edges and distressed the edges. So I'm going to just work on one side at the moment, so I'll just put this other piece aside for now. So I've got that one, and then I also cut out another one of the base pages, this one here with the tabs, so that we can use that as a flip. So I've cut that out. Then I have cut out one of these pockets, which I'm actually going to use as a flip today. I think I cut out that one. So that's this pocket here, and I'm going to use that as a flip. And then I've cut out two of these bottom pockets here. So that's these two here. Right. So I've cut all of those out. I've also cut out my mat. So let's go and have a look at that. I've got a mat for the base page. So here's my mat for my base page, rectangle base page. But then I'm using this second base page here with the tabs as a flip. So I need a mat for this side and a mat for this side. So I've cut out two more of those. So there's those ones all ready to go. And then I have cut out the mats for my side pocket that I'm using as a flip, so I'll need two of those. So I've cut out two of those, and they're all ready to go. I'll put those over there, and then I've just cut out two mats for these two bottom pockets, which are these two here. So all I need to do is put it all together. I'll just put the mats aside for now, and I'll just put that away. And we will start by putting it together. So here's my base page. I want this to be a flip coming from this side, like this, out like this. So I need to keep this tab, but not these two. So I'm just going to put a cross on those. I have to remind myself, otherwise I always cut the wrong thing off. And I'm going to use this as a flip on this side. So again, I'm going to keep this long tab, but I'm going to cross off these two and cut those out. So I'll just get my trimmer out. So the reason why they come with the tabs on, but I'm not using them, is because I made each of these pieces to be as versatile as possible. So I thought it was easiest just to include the tabs, right? And it's just, you know, it's really simple just to cut them off like this. This is all the cutting, the actual physical cutting that you need to do yourself. Yeah, so it just makes all these pieces really versatile. So I'm just going to trim that off. And of course, using the SVG files on your cutting machine means that you don't have to cut out anything yourself. You don't have to measure anything yourself. You don't even have to score anything yourself if you put your scoring tool in. So it's super duper easy. Okay, so here's my base page. I'm going to attach this here using this tab on there. So I'll go ahead and get some glue. I'm using Helmer's fabric glue, which I think would probably be quite similar to Fabri-Tac. But here in Australia, Fabri-Tac's not easy to come by. So I just make do with this. I think it's pretty much the same thing. So I'm just going to put some glue on that tab. Excuse me. Now I'm actually going to attach this straight onto the page because I'm going to mat over the top, and just to avoid a lot of the bulk on this side, which is going to be where we insert the hinge. So where I can, I try to avoid putting too much on that edge there. Just makes it, I think makes it seal a bit, or make it a bit easier to attach to the hinge when it comes to adding the pages. So I'll just put that on there, like that, and make sure it's lined up. I'm happy with that. My trimming is not very good, and I've also forgotten to ink around the edges of this page, so I might just quickly do that. And it's really hard to ink around these, around the craft, I find. It seems to use a lot of distress ink. Now, I'm just going to have a look here and see how I feel about my trimming there is not very straight, but it's fine on this side. So I'm just going to grab my scissors and just trim this a little bit up where I didn't do a very good job. You know, if I wasn't doing this on video, I probably would have taken a little bit more time to trim that edge off. But also, my cutting skills, even with a trimmer, aren't fabulous. Right, so I just need to go around these edges. I meant to get all of this done before we started, but I always forget the back of the flips. And so if I can just quickly do this. I know it's not very exciting. It's not even exciting when you do it. It will be less exciting watching somebody else doing it. But I think it does make a difference. Of course, you don't have to ink anything at all. And when you use black cardstock, it's a bonus because you don't have to ink that. Okay, so that's our flip that way. And then this one, I'm just going to attach on here so that it holds that one down like that. So, and I think I might attach it on the inside here again as well. So I'll put some glue on here. Wait for my glue to slide down. You could use any other kind of adhesive that you like. You know, you could use double-sided tape or your ATG. I just, I don't know, I like the glue. So I'm just going to turn that around so I can line it up easily. And make sure that I'm happy with it both ways. I'm just going to burnish that down here. Bit of glue seepage. Put it off my finger. Okay, so I might just need to slide it up a smidge there. Okay, fantastic. So the plan is that it will go like this. Oh, doesn't want to fit. Might need to just slide it out a bit. Yeah, like that. And then I just wanted to put some pockets down the bottom of each of these, which are what these pockets are for. But I might put the mat on there first so that it's easy to put the pocket on top and I don't have to try and slide the mat into the pocket. So, that's my mats there. So I'll just get some glue and pop them on. Now, I haven't thought about how I want to close this little flip at all. I've been using Velcro dots for this album because I made a really big album just recently using these SVG files, and I made it for my son. And I used all my magnets for that, and so then when I went to buy some more at the local scrapbook store, they didn't have any in stock. And I could also order some online, but it would take ages for them to get here. So I thought, I'm just going to have to do something else, something different. I'll pop that one in there, and then I'm going to put just a simple pocket on each side here. So I'll just put some glue on. These tabs, which I've already burnished down, and you know, the score lines have been done by the cutting machine, by my Cricut. So I'm just going to pop that one down there, line it up. Make sure I'm happy with that. Make sure this one folds over, and it does. Make sure this one folds over, and it does. Fantastic. So I'm just going to push it down with my bone folder just to make sure that glue really attaches. I'll do the same thing here. Glue on the tabs. This one. And lay that one down here on the bottom. So you don't have to make every page different in your album. You can choose your favourite pages, and just, you know, do 2 or 3 different types of pages, or, you know, I'm just doing all sorts of different ones just so I can show you, you know, lots of, or some of the ways that you can use each of these pieces. Now, let's see if that folds over okay. Yeah, so don't feel like you need to do all of this. You can if you want. Right, and now I can put some mats on here, and I need to distress around that one of that side flap there as well, because I forgot. So I'll just put this mat on here, and I'm going to do all my inserts a bit later. I just want to get my pages together first, and then I'll do my cover and put the pages inside. Then I'll do my inserts and my embellishing. 2 pockets there, and I can mat this front section. I'm not sure which way up this goes. I think it goes that way. Yep. Right, and I'll put this one down on here. Right, and now I might just go and ink this up and then come back in a minute, but I won't put you through having to watch me ink it up. So I'll just be back in a second. Okay, I'm back and I have inked up on the inside here, and then while I was doing that I made sure that I had all the pieces ready for the back side of this page, so hopefully we can just go straight on with that. So now I just need to mat this little bit here so that and then just work out some kind of closure. So I was thinking I would go with a little Velcro dot, but I was also thinking that I'd like to put a little charm here. So the first thing to do would be to put a mat on this side. So I might attach this mat just here. So I'll just get out my glue. And put a little bit of glue around here. Right, here, line it up, that's good. So I'll come back and embellish it later, but I was thinking that I'd like to put this little charm just dangling off here like this. So I thought, oh, I'll attach it with a brad, and then I remembered that I had these little dots, I guess you'd call them. I used to make a lot of handbags, and these tiny little, they're like little brads, you know, they've got the little pins, but they're a bit more rounded, a bit more raised. So I was thinking I might use one of those on here, because I don't think I've used very many. But you could just as easily use a brad, but I'm just trying to use the things that I have. So I need to sort of mark out where this is going to go. So I'm just going to press this in and hopefully get a couple of little marks of where the prongs are, so then I can put in a proper hole. I'm not sure where to put it. My hand's too big so that I can't really see. I think here. Alright, so I'm just going to press it down. I've got 2 tiny little marks there. Now where's my pencil? So here's one. I'm not even sure I can see the other one. Just press down on that side a bit, and I think that's the other one just there. Okay, so I'm just going to have to use my awl to punch a little hole in that. So where's my awl? Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to press it and create some holes in there that those little prongs can go into. Carefully. They're quite big little prongs. They're big little prongs. I think that might be a good start. See if we can get it through there. Come on. I think we need to be a bit bigger. I'm really worried about ripping it. That should work. Let's see. Yep, that fits. Very good. Okay, so I'll get rid of this mat now. Right, so I'm just going to pop that back out and just dangle my little charm. I've got a little love heart here. I just bought it from Spotlight, which is, you know, what pretty much all we have in Australia. So I'm just going to slide that onto one of those prongs and then put that in there like that, so that it sort of dangles down, and then just fold these prongs back. They're really tough. One, sort of. Let's turn it around this way so I can try and... They're really hurting my little finger. I almost need a hammer. Ow! There we go. There we go. Like that. Oop. Sit flat. I don't like the way that's sitting. I think that'll be okay. Yeah, I think that's okay. So then I can just mat this back bit and we won't see those prongs. Need to come down a bit. Okay. There we go. So then I'm just going to use a Velcro dot to hold that down. Let's have a look here. I've got these Velcro thin clear fasteners and I really like them. I've done a terrible job of mixing them all up. I haven't used that one. Really should have put them back in the packet. Okay, so I like to put the clear bit on here because that will be most obvious. So I'm going to put this little white bit, this is kind of like the floppy bit, on here. And then I'll just put the clear bit on top. I mean, a magnet would be nice, but I've used them all, so. Such is life. Okay, and then squash it down. And there we go. So, that little, was being a little tricky. I'll fix that. Oh, I think that's pretty good. It's cute. And then once we put a little bit of embellishing on it, I think that'll be lovely. So then we can open that up and open it up again. And we have a pocket here and a pocket here. So we've got lots of space in here. So I think this side will be the side for our insert. And this side will be where we attach it to the binding. But that's this side of the page. So I have got some bits ready for the next side of the page. So let me get those and put this one aside. Right. So I'll show you what I've cut out for this, for the back side of that page. So I have got the other side of the square base page, this one here. So we used that one when we just did the front side. So I've got this one here for the back side. Then I have got, I don't think I used anything on there. I've got one of these little pockets here. So I've got one of those. And did I miss a page? I did. I've got one set of these, so 2 of these that I'm going to use as doors. So I've got 2 of those, and I've already cut those out, and I've folded all the score lines and inked around the edges. And then I've cut out some of these, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. So 6 of these square small pockets, and then I have got 2 of these, which are essentially bottom pockets, square bottom pockets. I've got 2 of those. So that's what I've cut out from there. And then I've cut out all the mats as well. So the mats are in the light pink, and the pieces themselves are in the dark pink, just so you can tell one from the other. So I have cut a base page mat, a rectangle base page mat. So I've got these pretty butterflies. And then I have cut 2 of each of these, because I'm going to use those as doors. So I've got 4 of those just here. And then I have got 4 of these mats, which are the mats for this square or this bottom pocket, this straight edge bottom pocket. So I have 4 mats there, because I'm using it as a flip. I'm going to need to put mats on both sides, so I've done that. And then for these, I've got 6 of these. I'm also going to use those as a flip. So I need 12 mats, and that's those ones there. So I have 12 of those, all different ones. So they're already cut out and ready to go. And then finally, I've just cut the mat for this little bottom pocket just here, which is this polka dot one. So that's all of my mats and all of my pieces, and now we can just put it all together. So I'll pop that away to the side. I'll put these mats away for now, and bring this over here. So I've tried to be more organised this time. And this is my base page, so I don't need this tab here, so I've put a cross there to remind myself to cut that tab off, because I have a bit of a habit of cutting the wrong tab off. So for this one, I'm cutting this long tab off. For all of these pieces, I'm just going to use it as a flip with this tab, so I need to cut these 2 side tabs off for all 6 of those. So that's all of these. For these 2, I'm using it as a side flip, so I need to cut off the other short tab and the long tab on both of those. And then for these, they're going to be doors like this, so I need those long tabs, but I can cut off the short tabs on both of those. So I need to trim those tabs off. And then this is just going to be a pocket, so we don't need to do anything with that. So I'll put that one aside, and I'll get out my trimmer and start trimming off some of these little tabs as best I can. I'm not really very good at trimming neatly, even though there's a perfectly good line there. I still don't always do a very good job. So it's super early in the morning, and I woke up really early, so I thought I would just make use of the time and come into my craft room and I'm cutting this one off, and do some of this album. My craft room is such a mess. I really need to have a clean up. So maybe I'll do that later. It's really hard to force yourself to clean up when you just want to play and do the fun things. But I really do need to have a clean up because every surface is covered in stuff, and you know, I try to make myself really organised with lots of boxes and things, but you know, there's boxes on the floor and I just need to spend some time cleaning up. I am in the middle actually of creating some SVGs for some small drawers, so that I can make my own little drawers to keep things in, and if they work out I might do a video series on those, so that, you know, if you're looking for your own sort of solutions to storage and you find it's a bit expensive, then you could also make some of your own little drawers up for all the bits and pieces that we have for crafting. They're quite expensive, you know, the storage for little drawers and things like that. That's why I wanted to try making it myself, and because then I can have what I want as well. And you know, if I do manage to create SVGs for it and put them on my Etsy store, you know, once you buy them, once you buy it once, once you purchase the files once, they're yours forever, so you can make as many as you want. Because I think they'd be good in other rooms of the house as well. Could even be a great little gift for someone. I love little drawers. Little nooks and crannies and places to keep things. Right, I think that's all the trimming done. So that's going to be our base page. And I might just put that aside for the moment because I want to do something with these square pieces and these pieces here. So I had this idea that I would make a sort of a little waterfall on these. So this one fits nicely on here, and I thought I would just attach them here like this. So let's do that. I mean, if it doesn't work, it's just paper. So I will just attach that one on there. Sorry if I'm not in frame. I keep bringing it towards myself so I can see. Let's squash that down. And then this one as well. And I'm just going to line it up next to that one there like that. I might need to fix up my trimming along the side there because I'm not always very good at that. And then one more. Number 3. Just make sure it's lined up. So then we have a sort of a little mini waterfall that is on that's on a little flip, which I think is kind of cool. I'm just going to neaten up my edges here because I haven't really done a very good job of keeping them all nice and neat when I trim them. I'll do this other one first and then I'll do that because I'll need to do the same to both of them. So I'm just going to attach this onto here. Might fold that over and make sure that that's lined up. Burnish that glue down, which makes it squish out the edges, but then at least I know it's stuck on. Gets on my bone folder a bit though. And then this one. nice there. Right. Okay. Now I'm just going to fix up my edges. I feel like I didn't lay that down very well. Okay, let me see. How do we need to do this? Turn it over, and I just want to trim down the edge here. It's just where I haven't trimmed very well along that score line when I cut the tabs off. Because, you know, I might have, for one, I've cut on the score line. For the other, I've cut just on the outside of it. It just makes a little hair of a difference. I'm going to do the same on this one, just trim off along the side here. Make sure I'm happy with that, and the same on this side, just a little sliver. There we go. Now, I just thought maybe I should have put the mat down on this bottom one first, because now my mat's not going to fit. But I guess, you know, again, a little boo-boo by me, nothing unusual. So I think if you were doing this, maybe you might want to put the mat for this bottom piece on first, because now I'm going to have to trim mine down. But anyway, so there I've got two little flips that are little waterfalls. So I'm going to attach those to my page. So here's my page. And I thought I might have one coming from one side and then one coming from the other side. How does that look? Oh, I think that'll be, yeah. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. All right, I'll just do it. So I'll put some glue on here. And I'm going to line this up with this edge and with the bottom of my page. To make sure I'm really happy with that. And then I was thinking that I'd do this one coming from the other side, so then I can flip this way and flip this way. And then that whole thing will flip out like that. And this whole thing will flip out like that. Should I do that? Why not? Just go for it. Okay, I'll just turn it upside down so that I can line this up with this edge. And squish it up nice and close to the edge, like that. Looks good. Put that over there. Oh, bit of glue coming out, and burnish that down. More glue coming out. I'll just get this. It's okay because I'm going to mat that. Oh, just slid. There we go. Okay. And this one here, like that. And this one, like that. All right. Okay, that's good. I think that's good. So now I think I might put the mat on this bottom page. Should I do that? Yes, mat on the bottom page. I have the butterflies. Right, So I'll just pop that on here, and then I can put the pocket on top. Really pretty little butterflies. This is going to be quite a bulky page with the waterfall, the little side waterfalls. Okay, so now I've got this little pocket here that I cut out, and that's going to go down the bottom. So I'll just put some glue on those tabs and put it down. I just got glue all over my fingers. Line it up. Just gonna get that off my fingers. Ugh. Ah. Okay. Now, you're poking out a little bit there. Worried about that folding over. And just line it up and burnish it down. And then I just want to make sure that this will go over that pocket, and it does. So that's good. So that's that. Now, I want to be able to keep all of this down. So I was thinking about putting some doors on here so that it would hold everything in place. So if I put a door here and a door here, it'll hold it down. And then you can open it up and there's all your waterfall. I think that'll work. Well, that's what I'm going to do. So I will just attach them on. And so I'll put some glue on this side of the tab. And excuse me, attach it on the side here. And make sure it folds over and lines up pretty well. And I'm just going to burnish that bit down nicely so I know that glue's really attached. And that looks good. Might just need to take a little sliver off the edge of that waterfall there. And then the same for this side. And put this door on here. Line it up as best I can. That's pretty good. I'm just going to burnish that down here as well. Okay, that looks pretty good. I just want to trim the little bit off that bottom edge. And maybe a little smidge off that top edge. I don't know. Might just leave it for now. Okay, so there we go. We've got doors that open to a waterfall that goes this way. Oops, big glue there. Lucky we caught that. And over like that. And then it goes this way like that. And a pocket in the bottom. Nifty. Now, for the closure on here, I was thinking about using these little dots again because I'm a sucker for punishment. And what I was thinking was that I would trap a little bit of seam binding underneath those and then it could tie together. So I think the first thing to do is to put the mat on this front section. So let's find those mats. I've got those two. So I'm going to have one on here and one on here. I might just pop a couple of paper clips on there for a minute so that they don't keep popping up. There we go. So I'm going to put up my arm covered in glue. Right, so I'm going to put, I'll just turn that over because now I've got those paper clips there and it's hard to sort of press down. So I'm going to put my mats on the front doors and then we'll put those little pop dot things that I've got there on. See how that works. I am a little bit perturbed by the colour of my theme binding. It's really, oh, it might be okay. Seems awfully pink. Never mind. Onwards and upwards. I have to really push myself to just keep moving. I don't know if everybody else is the same way, but I can get bogged down and get really indecisive. So I just have to say, doesn't matter, let it go. Okay, so there's our front. So I'll turn it back over again. And we have our little doors. So now I want to put the holes in here again. Oh. So I'm going to, I'm just going to squeeze them in a little bit. Again, I'm going to line it, just put it here and press some little holes in. And then mark them with my pencil before I lose them. There's one and there's one. And then do the same on this other side. I'm just going to turn it around, sorry, because I can't see from the other way. And I think maybe about there. Yeah, and I'll press on there to put little prong marks. Got one there and one there. Right, I think that'll be okay. So I'll get out my mat again and my awl. I'll flip that over and I'll grab my awl and I'm just going to poke a hole. I don't want to use my punch because I think the hole might be too big with the punch, and so I thought I'd just use this awl. So let's have a look. See how much bigger I need to make it. Oh, come on. I feel like I'm all thumbs when I'm trying to do things like this. Oh. Just trying to wiggle those holes bigger with the actual prongs. There we go. Awesome. And now this side. I don't want to make the holes too big because then you can sort of see them on either side. You know, because the... So if I kind of try and squash it in and the little prongs themselves make the... There we go. The sort of the little expand the holes. Perfect. All right, so I can put this away. And what I want to do is attach my seam binding underneath the little little brad thing. So I'm going to cut this little bit of seam binding in half. I hope it's big enough. Yeah, I can't see why it wouldn't be. Now, can I poke it in one of those holes? I actually think I might make a third hole just for the seam binder to go through, and I might use my punch for that. So if I put a hole in the middle, carefully in the middle, there we go, and then I can poke, I hope this works. With my awl I can poke my bit of seam binding through. Oop. Go through. Oh. Okay, so this is, I'm really doing a fabulous job of making this look harder than it needs to be. And I worry that I keep going out of frame. I'm just making a real mess of that bit of seam binding. Why aren't you going through? Okay, maybe I'll just roll it up and poke it through. Okay, so yeah, that was much easier. So I'm going to put a little dab of glue here to hold that seam binding down. Come on. Right, and I'll just push that seam binding down into there. I don't want to have too much bulk. I'll just pop that there. Stay down. Right. Ugh. Now I've got this seam binding stuck to me as well. Okay, and then I'll put my little brad back in those little holes. Like that. So it will look like that on the front. Oh, that looks cute. It works, I think. All right, so now I have to squish this out, which I don't like doing because it hurts my fingers. One. And, sorry, I hope I'm in frame. Two. There we go. Awesome. I think that's good. Just hope I've given myself enough. We'll soon find out. Okay, so now I'm just going to do the same thing. I'll put a little hole in between these two holes for us to put the seam binding through. You could use your crocodile if you've got one. I don't. I would like one for eyelet setting because I use a hammer to set eyelets. Really think a crocodile would be great. I just need to chop that little bit off the end and slide it through. Come on, it happened so easily the first time. Here we go, there we go. Perfect. Right, I can hear my little doggy coming in to say good morning. So you might hear her claws tip-tapping on the floor if she comes in. Or she might have found her breakfast first. Okay. Sorry, just getting the glue off my hand. Right, and then I'm going to flip that over and put my little brad back through those holes. Oh, I think that looks pretty neat, you know. Pretty neat. Excuse me. Okay, and now, sorry, I keep having to turn my page around all the time. I might be making you dizzy. Just squash those prongs down. These prongs are so much harder than brads. Ugh. Okay, so it looks like that. Oh, that's pretty nifty. So then can we tie it up? We can. Oop. Oh, it's a bit of a little bit lean. Okay, looks like, so that'll be good. My bow is not very good. probably should have given myself a bit more seam binding, but it was all I had left that I'd coloured, so. Okay, so that works and I'm thrilled. So now we can just go ahead and mat all the rest of the page. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Okay guys, so I'm back and I finished doing all the matting, so I thought I'd just show you how it looks. And so I'll just undo that and open it up, and we have those little waterfalls going each way. I'll just put my glasses on. Okay, and so then this flips over like this, and the whole thing flips over, and then this one flips over like this, and that flips over, and then we've got a pocket here so we can put something underneath there. So you remember the boo-boo that I made this time was that I didn't put the mat for this bottom flip down first. But what I did was, so I cut it down, and then I just used the little bits that I cut down to fill up these little spaces here. If I had not done that, if I had been smart and put the mat down first, then I was thinking that I was going to put a little bit of washi there. But seeing as I had that little scrap of paper and it fitted, that's what I did. So, pretty happy with that. I think it looks pretty cool. So I'm going to close that up and tie that back up. And then I can attach this side of the page. Oh. I should have used more seam binding. This is what happens when you're a Scrooge. So I can attach this page to, or this side of the page to this side of the page. So all I need to do is make sure they are both the right way around, and then I'm going to glue them down. So I'll just grab my glue and put some glue on these tabs and attach them. Simples. One and this one. Like that. And I'll just glue them together like that. Make sure that they line up. And each on the top and bottom, and then squish them together. Like that. I think that's good. He's stuck. I think so. I might even put a couple of bulldog clips on there just to hold it for a minute. Oops, there's one. Moving around. I'll just put them in the middle like that. So that's that page done. So thank you again for joining me today while we made this page, and I hope you've been enjoying the series of all the pages that we've been making. And if you are enjoying it, please subscribe to my channel and like my video, and I will put a link to the cutting files, these Memoria cutting files that are in my Etsy store. I'll put a link in the description box, so if you'd like to go and have a look at those, you're very welcome to. And I will see you hopefully in the next video where we do another page. Otherwise, have a great day. Thank you. Bye bye.